365 days later, I have 12 EAs to share with you. It's been over a year now, and in that time we've started testing many EAs on live accounts after testing them on demo, backtesting and looking at vendors' track records. There were many losses, but it was all worth it because now we have trading bots that survived on demo, have proven to be robust, and now we are building portfolios with these EAs because live performance is the only real proof that an EA works or not. All of our live accounts are public on the Algo Trading Space platform, and if you arrange the accounts according to the days they've been trading, you will see that we already have 12 expert advisors that have been running over 365 days. And that's the most important thing, the live trading. And the first one, the Happy Gold Recovery, has been trading over 2 years now. And what's really impressive here is that for 2 years the max floating loss we've seen is 22.5%. The monthly average is a little bit below 2%, which means that I can comfortably double the risk because the floating loss just allows it. So I can aim 3 to 4%, but honestly I'm happy with the results and I don't want to risk the account. Here is the live account, and the Happy Gold Recovery works very similar to the Happy Gold Scalping. It's the same EA, just with the scalping it's trading fixed lot. It's either taking a profit or it's hitting a stop loss. It actually uses a trailing stop loss. And with the recovery, whenever there is a losing trade, for example right in here, this trade hit the stop loss and it brought $21 on a loss. The second one was with a double lot and it recovered the loss. Now what's interesting here, the EA is not trying to recover every loss. It just opens a double lot on the next signal. If it recovers. If not, it's reducing again the lot 2.04. And that's what exactly makes it not risky expert advisor. And I'll just show you this example. So right in here, it was trading 0.09 and it brought a loss of $46, and the recovery trade made just $14, and then the lot was adjusted accordingly and it continued trading. So that's one of the first experts I started trading live, and it survived for over 2 years. On the second spot is the popular Waka Waka, which is trading on a bigger 3K account. It uses a grid martingale. That is why it needs more capital. What's interesting about Waka Waka, we call it to be the most stable grid martingale system we've seen because it's trading 3 assets and it's been consistently profitable and equally profitable on 3 of them. I'll show it to you right on the track record, so you can see that there were a couple of drawdowns. One of them reached 50%. These 2 are withdrawals from the accounts. We always withdraw when we make above 20% in the account. If I ignore the withdrawals, you will see how the balance line look. You will see the growth rate. But if I go to terminal and I click on analysis, you will see that the Waka Waka is trading the Aussie cat, the New Zealand cat, and the Aussie New Zealand very equally. The 3 of them are on profit, and the most profitable is the Aussie cat, which actually is the most active. So one of the ways to reduce even more the risk with Waka Waka is to trade just one of the assets. But like you know, I prefer to have a risk diversification and trade more assets, more EAs in my portfolio, and that is why I am trading the 3 of them, and the results are public on the website. You can see all the open trades, the closed trades. These are verified results. On the third spot with 571 days, we have the Infinity Trader. This expert advisor made nearly 100% gain in this 1K live account, and if I show you the track record, you will will see that there were drawdowns from time to time. It might hold the floating loss for a little bit longer, but until the moment it always recovered. It is trading the pound dollar only in this account, and we are trading with an initial lot of 0.02. Now if you use lower risk with the Infinity Trader, you can actually trade it on a funded account. If you're not willing to trade live money, live capital, you can look at platforms like iFunds, and we have plenty of accounts with them. If I search for iFunds in our funded trading stats, you will see how many accounts we have, and if I arrange them according to the balance, you will see that Infinity Trader is on the second spot at the moment. There is an open position which I am waiting to close, and once it closes I will withdraw the $430 of a profit. Now with iFunds we get 50-50 profit split, so for me will be about $200 from that account. From the first one, if it recovers, that will be more, above $400, but I prefer the 50-50 profit split with iFunds because this allows me to have 10% max drawdown. If you want to have higher profit split, you need to decrease the max drawdown. So if your system doesn't go in a big floating loss, you can decrease it even to 6%, and then you're getting 80% of the profit split. The programs are relatively cheap for instant funding. The most popular is $400 for 5k live account, and I was taking the 10k for the price of $700, but some time ago I asked iFunds to sell me those 15k accounts which cost $1,000, so I wanted to compare $1,000 as a cost for a funded account with $1,000 live capital. That's why we have these 15k accounts, and usually I wait for about $400 of a profit and I just withdraw the profit from the account. So FX Constant is also in a floating loss right now, but if it recovers I will withdraw the profit. So I'm waiting on the first 3 accounts right now to withdraw profits. Going back to the live accounts, the fourth expert advisor is the Forex Gold Investor. Like I said in many of my videos, that's the expert advisor that made me the most money. You can see that the withdrawals are nearly 8,000, but unfortunately recently this account is just tanking. You can see that it's just going down since March. For those of you who are familiar with the Forex Gold Investor, you know that it's following the gold trend. So when gold is going up, this is probably the best expert advisor to trade. But now we reduced the trading volume to 0.01 on a live environment, and we just keep an eye on that. And if gold becomes bullish again, I'm pretty sure this will turn on the profitable side and we will increase the risk and make some money again. But that account is real proof for me and for everybody watching my videos that when we withdraw profits, we are more likely to make money at the end of the day. Because if I switch to the growth rate, this simulates that if I didn't withdraw profits since the beginning of 2025, I would have seen great returns in my account. Look at that, it's over 500%, and then I would just lose all of it. But instead I've made 2.5 times more than my initial deposit just because I was withdrawing profits along the way. So I definitely don't give up on this EA. I'm just waiting for the next bullish move from the gold, which will happen sooner or later. On the fourth spot we have the Forex Trend Hunter that is trading euro dollar. We have 2.6% a month. If I show you the track record, you will see that it went to a 50% drawdown that was recovered, and that was in July last year. And since this time we haven't seen big drawdowns in the account. I think we've reduced the risk a little bit. So in this 1k account we are trading it with 0.02 starting lot, and then it recovers with 0.04. It uses a grid martingale, but the highest lot we've seen is 0.06, which makes it pretty stable but not very active expert advisor. You can see 98 trades. However, I usually don't care about the trade frequency because it doesn't matter as long as the drawdown is within our threshold. and we make above 2% a month, that's good enough for me. The Happy Gold Scalper, I already showed it to you in the VPS where we are trading it together with the Happy Gold Recovery. I'll bring one more time the platforms because I want to show you how important the latency is for this expert advisor. We use different VPSs and we want to make sure that our VPS is very close to the server of the broker and we achieve a latency of 1 to 2 milliseconds. Sometimes is below 1 millisecond, and that's very important for the Happy Gold because if I show you the trade duration from the track record, you will see that the trades last a couple of seconds. Sometimes it's below 1 second, like whenever you see a dash, it means it's below 1 second, but most of the trades are 1 to 2 to 3 seconds, and you really need a fast VPS. And I know many of you are using the Happy Gold Scalper, the Recovery. There are a few more versions. We are using just the two, and I saw in many one-on-one calls with you guys, the subscribers, the VIP members in Discord, that results really very good for the Happy Gold. Depending on the VPS and the broker you are using, latency is crucial in this case, and you can check all of the VPSs we are using with my team in Algo Trading Space. The next expert advisor is the Japan Strike, which has been trading for over 432 days. It's very active, over 1300 trades, and look at that, the drawdown is just 25%. Very impressive, and at the same time it makes 3.6% a month. If I show you the track record, you will see that we've made 2 withdrawals and there are no big drawdowns. We qualified as a high risk expert advisor just for this 1K account. Simply in the backtest there were bigger drawdowns than 1000. That is why trading it on a 1K is risky, but that is why we are also trading it in our premium portfolios where we have 5K as capital. And if I just show you the premium accounts, the charity number 3 is with the Japan Strike, and because it's 5K account, look at that, the max floating loss is just 5%. This account is trading the Japan Strike, the multipair and the Euro stable, and because they are trading low risk on a 5K account, the drawdown or the max floating loss is way smaller. The next expert advisor is the Market Master, trading the Euro dollar. Recently it went in a bigger floating loss such that we haven't seen so far. The account tracker detected to be 66%. It's trading Euro dollar. It's a grid martingale system. Again, trading on a $1,000 account is probably risky. That is why we also added it into our premium portfolios, because they are bigger and they have more margin. The next expert advisor with 405 days is the Forex Fury. I know many mixed reviews, comments about this expert advisor. I have it on this $1,000 live account for over a year. It makes 1.5%. Recently, I saw that it's recovering from this stagnation. I've made 1 withdrawal here. If I switch to growth rate, you will see that it's been in stagnation since January, but now since March, it is recovering. So I really hope this expert advisor becomes profitable again. Look at that, 7.93% of a floating loss, which doesn't make it a risky system. On the next spot with 396 days, we have the Happy Forex that is capable of making 2.7% a month with 30% drawdown, hanging in the floating loss sometimes for a bit longer, but it's not using an aggressive grid martingale system. It trades the Aussie and the Euro Swiss at the same time in different directions, so it's kind of a hedging trading system but between different assets. Very interesting, by the way. You can keep an eye on the results on the Algo Trading Space platform. And Dark Gold sits on the next spot with 2% a month, 14% max floating loss with 390 days. This Dark EA shows very stable results until the moment, but keep in mind that it is a gold grid system. Starts with 0.02 in our account and the highest lot we've seen is 0.12, which again can make it a little bit risky for $1,000 life account. The 12th expert advisor I'm gonna show you today is the Euro Stable, which is trading euro dollar, and it makes nearly 3% a month. From the same vendor of Japan Strike and multi-pair, this expert advisor is trading fixed grid, so it doesn't increase the lots. You can see that we are trading with 0.01. And for the beginners, if you are trading fixed grid, it means that every recovery order is with the same lot as with the initial trade. And if you're using martingale, then every consecutive trade will be with bigger lots than the initial, and this is where it becomes risky. So trading just 0.01 with fixed grid in $1,000 life account probably is just less risky than a martingale. So these are the 12 expert advisors that we've been trading for over a year now. Some have been trading for longer, but this is where I learned to be patient, because it just takes time to see which expert advisors last longer on a live environment. And I started testing many EAs around 1.5 years ago. Initially we were trading just a few expert advisors, but I saw that any of the accounts, any of the EAs can blow. That's why I decided to add more and more EAs into the algo trading space platform website, where we show the results publicly, and from there we want to grab the best ones now and combine them into premium portfolios. And I'll leave a link down below in the description to the premium program if you're interested in it. And I really thank you so much for staying with me until the end of the video. And if you want to learn more about one of the expert advisor I just mentioned, check out this video on my site. It's a great one. And until then, I wish you safe trading. Don't forget, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.